For all data gathered, supporting documentary evidence is required to substantiate any entries into the NEEP software. This documentary evidence must be retained by the assessor as outlined in the BER Assessors Code of Practice. BER assessors must endeavour to gather as much relevant data, photographs and supporting evidence as possible to increase the likelihood of an accurate survey and assessment. As a general rule, the default values in NEEP are conservative and must be used unless non-default values can be supported through acceptable documentary evidence or evidence recorded on site. Assessors are expected to make reasonable efforts to confirm that any default values used are selected correctly and only when non-defaults are unavailable. The following diagram from the NEEP Survey Guide illustrates the order of priority for each data item in a BER assessment. The actual data observed on-site takes precedence. Where the data item is not observable, it should be detailed using documentary evidence. Documentary evidence must be retained with the assessment records. Where the data item is not observable on-site or via documentary evidence, then a default is used. The BER Quality Assurance System, or QA, ensures the integrity of the BER scheme is maintained. The integrity of the BER scheme and its process are continually reviewed and improved. Findings from audits are used to identify improvements to the BER methodologies and guidance. All BER assessors agree to carry out BER assessments in line with QA guidelines and, in particular, the Code of Practice for Building Energy Rating Assessors. Within the Code of Practice, each BER assessor acknowledges that responsibility for conducting BER assessments correctly and the accuracy of the results rests solely with them. Under QA, BER assessments and BER assessors are audited by SEAI on an ongoing basis in accordance with the quality assurance system and disciplinary procedure to ensure the integrity of the BER scheme. The BER Quality Assurance System comprises of two audit types: desk-based audits and documentation and practice on-site audits. Audits are selected on both a random and targeted basis. Where technical errors are identified in audits, their impact on the rating is sized in order to determine the severity of non-compliance. The resulting error severity, if any, is graded based on an error matrix. Using this matrix, the error severity is allocated to the assessments. The points, if any, are allocated to the BER assessor. There are two possible outcomes of the audit in terms of the rating. Either the building energy rating is compliant or revoked. After the audit is complete, a preliminary audit report is issued to the BER assessor, providing him or her with an opportunity to appeal findings before a final audit report is issued. For more information on QA approach, documentary evidence, accuracy of ratings, please view SEAI's website at www.seai.ie.